Hello, everybody. I'm Wally Kennedy. Tonight, Philadelphia's first extended interview with Shannon Reinhart, also known as Summer the Stripper. She'll talk about why she wants to pose for Penthouse magazine. Hello, everybody. I'm Wally Kennedy. Tonight, you will hear the first extensive one-on-one television interview that Shannon Reinhart, better known as Summer, has ever given. 11 months ago, mainline murderer Craig Rabinowitz pled guilty to murdering his wife, Stephanie, in the couple's Marion home. Prosecutors say he did it because he wanted to create a new life with Shannon Reinhart. Better known as Summer, she was a stripper at Delilah's Den, and Craig had lavished thousands of dollars on her in the months before the murder. Now, Craig is in prison, and Shannon is starting a new career as an exotic model. She came to our studio along with local photographer Tony Ward, who's helping to sell the photos he took of Shannon to Penthouse magazine. I asked Summer why she decided to pose.
Well, I think it's very exciting, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And I just said, let's do it.
What's exciting about it? What do you enjoy about it?
I think it's beautiful. I think the human body is a very beautiful thing.
Let me ask you this, because it's a good opportunity to clarify what was in the newspaper. The newspaper made it sound as if, because of all the other, because of the Rabinowitz case and because of all the other things, that somehow your career as an adult entertainer, as a dancer, was damaged, so therefore you have to do this. Is that true?
No, I don't have to do it.
No.
No.
What made you think that now is the time to do it?
I have the opportunity now to do it. I think whether or not the Rabinowitz thing would have happened, I still would have posed for Penthouse or Playboy.
You would have gravitated in this direction?
Yes.
God, we've been talking so much about Monica Lewinsky, and one of the things that comes up again and again and again is how a 21-year-old is able to have this effect on a then 51-year-old man, and to be able to turn him on, and obviously to get him to do things that he's not supposed to do. Tell me about that power. I mean, is that kind of intoxicating?
I guess for some men it is. It's when you walk into the club, you're in four walls, you're safe, it's sound, and you can be whatever you want to be.
Is it acting?
Yes, in a sense, yes, it is acting.
But don't you, I mean, when you walk into a restaurant, don't heads turn?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Do more heads turn now than they did 3 years ago? Or
no, I don't think so. Now I get, oh, you're her. But,
and what do you say to stuff like that?
I'm like, hi.
Okay.
There's really not much you can say. Sometimes it frightens me. Sometimes it makes me shy. I usually just get like a little grin because I don't always know how to react to it.
So Tony calls you up, and Tony, now I realize that this is your job, this is your profession, you're a happily married guy, and you do erotic photos. You just call Shannon and say, look, you don't know me, but I do a lot of Penthouse stuff, and I would like to do you nude.
Initially, when the story broke, I thought she would be the ideal subject for me.
Why?
Well, because she was surrounded by a very unusual circumstance that was, let's face it, tied to human sexuality, which is what I specialize in. So having heard all the media stories about her, you know, getting out of the limelight, if you will, and disappearing, I knew it was not going to be a very good opportunity for me to pursue her at that time. So over a year passed, and I always wanted to meet Shannon, and finally I had an opportunity to meet her, and you know, we hit it off, became friends, and decided to do some business ventures together.
Was there ever a point in your life where instead of embracing sexuality like this, you wanted to run from it, especially like, you know, when the case was such a big deal? Was there a time you would rather be in a convent, or did you ever connect your sexuality with what brought you to the news in the first place?
I'll never regret anything I've done in this business, not at all. I've enjoyed it so much. I'm very comfortable with my sexuality, and I'm very comfortable with myself and my body, so I'm not ashamed of anything. Always.
Even as a kid?
Always. Yeah, I was always very curious.
Did the other girls hate you?
What other girls? Which ones?
No, I mean, as you get older, and you go through high school, sometimes girls can get catty about, well, you've got a better figure than most.
It's very difficult being a teenage girl in general, whether you're beautiful or an average girl or the studious type. It's just very, very difficult. The hormones, the whole thing.
Don't tell me you didn't have a date to the prom. I don't want to, I've had so many models sit there and say, well, I never had a date to the senior prom.
You know what? I didn't have a prom. I didn't go to my prom.
You had no prom?
I didn't go to my prom.
God, all these women who are so deprived. Fill in the blank for me. Is a good model necessarily a good erotic model? What's the difference?
Well, I think you might be referring to a fashion model compared to an erotic model, and the differences are quite vast. Fashion models play at being sexy. Erotic models really are sexy and are willing to be sexy in front of a camera. There's more of an exhibitionist quality in an erotic model than a traditional fashion model. And fashion plays on the whole idea of being sexy and erotic, but never really crossing that line. And we all kind of know what the line is. In most mainstream magazines, you can't reveal the breast. You never could see pubic hair or really between the woman's legs. But in a publication like Penthouse or Playboy, certainly that opportunity is there.
How do you feel about, well, first of all, you've done the photos already. Have you seen them?
I've seen some of them.
You like them?
Yes, I do.
What does he do while you're posing to make you feel sexy?
Wow. He took a lot of time with me to build up to our moment of shooting, and it was just very comfortable. The people, everybody just made me feel comfortable. I felt safe. I was in a location where I've been before, and knowing him and seeing his work and what he can do, it's just, I felt very safe.
By the way, we should make mention of the fact that Tony's work is literally now on sale at a bookstand near you. It's called Obsessions, and it's most of the pictures are quite graphic, and I couldn't possibly show them to you on television, but that's what it's all about. It's about women, and it's about women and men and erotica and everything. How would you feel? Because, I mean, the next step up is obviously there are pictures of you alone, but a lot of adult magazines, Penthouse included, do women on women and women with men. How are you with that?
I'm fine with that.
You are? Because I wonder, how do you make those people comfortable? Because are they models who they're hired for a job, they show up at your studio one day, they don't know each other, and then 45 minutes later they're making love in front of your camera?
Well, I wish it were 45 minutes later, but it's actually a much more involved process. I get calls and referrals all the time now because of my reputation and, of course, working for Penthouse. And basically what I do is interview every model that wants to work with me. And I go through a very careful process to make sure they're aware of the implications of being in a magazine that 1 million people will see. And, I ask them questions about family, about lovers, boyfriends, jealous husbands, you name it, to make sure that they know once they cross that threshold, you don't go back.
Well, that is a good question. Is there a guy in your life?
No.
Okay. If there were, would it just be, I'm doing this, and if you don't like it, too bad?
I don't answer to anybody. This is my life. You only get one. And I don't ever want to go through life saying, I could have, I should have, I would have. I want to do it. And I think everybody should be able to do and fulfill your dreams. I mean, why not?
Let me take a break. We're talking to Tony Ward and Shannon Reinhart. Stay with us as Philly After Midnight continues. Don't go away.
Coming up, more of Wally's interview with Summer, plus an exclusive look at the photo she's hoping to sell to Penthouse. Stay with us.
He knows what.
Welcome back to Philly After Midnight, everybody. Shannon Reinhart and Tony Ward, our guests. Are you Summer anymore, or is Summer gone?
No, she's still here.
Is that still your professional working name?
It's both Shannon and Summer. Girls that I've worked with that are used to calling me Summer still call me Summer. Are
you through dancing?
Right now, I retired. I'm a manager now at a nightclub.
Okay, tell me more about this, what you were talking about, feeling good about your body and about erotic and everything. Because if anybody looks at Penthouse especially, erotica seems to be getting more and more specific. And virtually every month there seems to be scenes of lesbianism. When you put models together and you do these pictorials, I've always wondered, do they know each other? How soon, I mean, are these people who've worked together before, or are they just strangers from a modeling agency that just show up and that's it?
It works both ways. Sometimes with coupling, people do professional shows together. They go all over the country and they do feature performances, and very often you'll see those same people in print.
Now in Man-Woman, when you do a men and women, as I said, those pictures, especially over the last several years, have gotten very graphic. And they show men in a state of arousal, and obviously the women look like that they're enjoying themselves too. Is that the real thing?
Well, Viagra has done wonders for the men in the business.
Are you kidding, or is that...
No, that's absolutely a fact. I just recently photographed Jasmine St. Clair, who's one of the famous porn stars in America, and I worked with her and her bodyguard boyfriend, who used Viagra on the shoot, which is kind of curious because they are lovers, so I was wondering why he needed Viagra. But anyway...
I guess it happens in every house.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're past the 6-month period, Wally. So, yeah, but he did use it, and it worked for like 3 hours. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was a little sore afterwards, but...
Tony, do you know how many bottles of Viagra are flying off the pharmacy shelves just because of what you said?
Yeah, I wish I had a percentage of the profit.
You'd give that the endorsement. Are there any men or women who do those shoots that are gay and just basically they're not turned on by the opposite sex?
That's a very good question, and yes, you certainly have people who are gay and straight and bisexual and all of the above, but part of the interview process is to kind of weed out or at least ask those questions. Therefore, if there's someone that's really straight and they don't want to be with someone that's bisexual because of all the implications of AIDS and all those issues, we try to air everything out before the shoot so that when we at least do the shoot, we kind of are on some common ground in terms of where they've been and who they've been with.
If you show a couple and it shows them simulating having sex, do they really have sex?
Well, I don't try to simulate it. As an erotic artist, I try to really create a sexual atmosphere. So sometimes it's more successful than others, but I've actually had women have orgasms on my shoot, and that's not something you can fake. I mean, they can fake it in X-rated movies, they can use douche and a lot of various other techniques, but it's really a delight as an artist if you can really bring someone to climax, and we do have that kind of success in our
How would you feel working with a guy you never even knew in doing a photo shoot like that?
Well, I'm not doing pornography like an adult film. I'm taking pictures, so it's a little different.
I don't think Shannon would be interested in doing a male thing.
How about female and female?
Well, stay tuned.
Tell me how you're going to package this to Penthouse. First of all, obviously there's a lot about Rabinowitz you don't want to have hanging around your neck, yet at the same time, is that going to be part of the pitch to Penthouse? That this is the woman who was in this guy's fantasy world, the other woman? Is that how you're going to pitch it to Penthouse?
That is exactly how I'm going to pitch it, because quite naturally she's in an unusual circumstance, and I want Mr. Guccione to be aware of that, because I want her to make significant money for the shoot. Quite, you know, it's a business thing, and if we just sell it as another pictorial, she'll never get the dollar amount that she well deserves, barring all stuff she's been through. You know, with the media making all kinds of money on her, this is an opportunity for her to make some money, and we're going to do the best we can to get it.
Is that a world that you want to be part of, Shannon, from this point on? Would you like to be part of that Penthouse world? Would you like to be their model? Would you like to be somebody who's in the magazine a lot?
Oh, I would love to, yeah.
You would? You would?
And I'm almost there.
How much of you is, I mean, we're all, to a large degree, what we do. You know, I'm a talk show host, he's a photographer, you're an adult entertainer. But how much of you, of the real you, is wrapped up in this ability to turn guys on?
For some reason, I seem to have a natural talent.
I'd like to answer that for her, Wally.
You think?
Shannon is one of the sexiest, most erotic women, bar none, I've ever worked with. She's professional,
okay, and
she's
you've worked with a
intelligent.
lot. What makes you that way?
I just think she was probably born that way. I mean, it's just not something you can acquire or develop. She just, first of all, she has an innate love for men. So when she's working with a male photographer and he's certainly into her in an erotic sort of way, it lights her up. Just like any model that works that way will certainly have a proclivity to get into that kind of shoot. But Shannon is, she just has an unusual power that I certainly love. and think it's great.
When we come back, we will show you what we can of Summer's photo shoot. See the picture she and Tony are hoping to sell to Penthouse. Welcome back to our interview with Summer, Shannon Reinhart, and photographer Tony Ward. I asked Summer if she weren't posing for Penthouse, what she'd be doing to earn a living. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Probably something close to this.
Really? This is it? So this is really why you're on the air?
In the adult entertainment. I know that this is where I'm supposed to be, and I enjoy it, and that's where I'm going to stay.
Shannon, was there a point at which you said, this is me, this is what I'm all about, this is what I want to do?
Always, yeah, through this whole case. From the first time. I absolutely love this business.
Good opportunity to use this medium, though, and because a lot of what we heard about you was not from you. It's a good opportunity now that we know you and now that you've shared what the future is for you. What is the biggest misunderstanding about you? Anything?
The biggest misunderstanding, although I do this for a career, there is another side to me. I am that very loving mother who all she thinks about is her child. And then a drop of a hat when she thinks, am I going to smile from ear to ear? Those things are very true. I'm very independent. Pretty much people were on the money. I have my moments. I can be a bitch. I could be, I have all those moments. But I do enjoy my work. And a job is a job. And I enjoy my job. But I also enjoy my privacy and my time as a family woman. And I choose to have that.
What does your boy think about this? He's what, 7?
He's 7 years old.
And what does he think about that?
Well, he understands. I mean, he knows what I do as a dancer. He would help me rehearse shows. He would remember my dance steps if I forgot them. Help me pick out costumes. He knows what I do. I'm never going to hide it from him. He needs to know, because when you grow up with a mother who does this, or you grow up a certain way, it's normal, it's natural.
So you say she's born a natural.
She's a born erotic star. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I have the same sentiment in terms of kids, because I have 3 kids too, and just seeing what she does with her son is amazing. You know, as a mother, as a single mother particularly, it's pretty cool.
So. Obviously, the question that begs to be asked is, if Penthouse accepts your bid, this should be appearing in the magazine when?
I'm hoping for it to appear in the December issue, because it's the holiday issue. It's a big issue for them. If
a lot of guys in Philadelphia.
This will be a great gift for Philly, I'll tell you that.
Hey, honey, get me that Christmas gift. Shannon, Summers and Penthouse this month, honey. How about that great Christmas gift? The gift that keeps on giving. But you hope for the December issue?
Yeah, if not December, maybe January.
And after that, what?
Work on the next level.
Well, I have a book. Well, there's a couple things. Shannon hasn't really told her story. So perhaps she will look at an opportunity for her to write an autobiography. Secondly, we're thinking about a picture book. Without getting into the details of that, I can assure you that will fly off the bookstore shelves as well.
Okay. Thank you both for being with us. It's nice to talk to both of you. Tony Ward, whose book is called Obsessions, and I think it's safe to say that, number 1, it's on sale at bookstores now, and number 2, it is very, very, very much for adults, but it contains his work, which has appeared over 20 times in Penthouse magazine and other magazines as well.
Around the world.
And Shannon Reinhart, who to most people in Philadelphia know her by the one single name as Summer, but she is, as she said, an adult erotic star. She's also a mother and somebody who is now not in the news because she's forced to be, but because she wants to be. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Wally.
Stay with us as Philly After Midnight continues, everybody. Don't go away.